Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to Let's Make a Forge mod, episode 7 of the series. Now I have enough time to upload this today because earlier I made a mod review for the Godzilla mod. Since it was such a small mod and I didn't really make a story and all that stuff, I have so much free time I could literally record 2 episodes of Let's Make a Forge mod because of all this free time I have. Normally, if I would have been making a really quality, a story, animations, all that stuff, if I would have been editing that and making one of those today, I would still be working on it right now. Since it's 9 o'clock, I could still work on anything I want since I didn't really make a fancy mod review. Anyways, guys, how about we get started with episode 7. Anyways, in this episode, we're going to be going over how to make tools, how to make an axe, a sword, all that great stuff. Alright, so what you're going to do is, in my description, the first link is going to take you here to my forum, which is creating mods using Mod Loader and Forge. Anyways, what you're going to do is scroll all the way down till you see this picture right here. This is the Forge picture, alright? So here's episode 7. It was released early. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, then you guys won't know when these sources are going to be released. I released this about 3 hours ago, so you guys could have been caught up and, been doing this faster than this video being uploaded. Anyways, guys, follow me on Twitter. That's just the lesson of the day today, and I'm just kidding. Okay, open up episode 7, alright? Open that up, and here's the video, which is coming soon, which we're making right now. Now, we're going to be making a new enum tool material, and after that, we're going to be making a topaz axe, a topaz shovel, a sword, pickaxe, and a hoe. So how about we scroll all the way down, because right here is the picture downloads. So you click right here, download all of the Jasper Tools pictures. If you guys are making Jasper, then this is what you're going to be downloading. This is a zip that contains our pictures, which we're going to be using for the tools. So anyways, right here, we're going to open this up, and right here's a folder. Just drag over that folder to your desktop, and this is the Jasper folder. So you're going to open that up, and inside here, you're going to see all of the tools. Here's an axe, here's the hoe, here's the pickaxe, here's the shovel, and last but not least, the sword. Alright, so this is from my Trio Gems mod, all the Jasper pictures. You guys are able to use this in your mod if you really want to. I'm not really being a strict person saying, no, you can't use my pictures. You guys could download this, edit, use it, anything you want, distribute it, do what you want. Anyways, it is a 16 by 16 picture of a texture, alright? So it's 16 by 16 transparent background PNG. Alright, so once you have the pictures all ready, then you're good to go. I have the axe, all that stuff. And once you're ready, how about we open up Eclipse? So I have all the pictures, now I'm going to open up Eclipse, nothing's opened up. So what I have to do is go here to Minecraft, open that up, go here to Source, and there we have it. Scroll all the way down till we find our package. Mine is SCMowns.tutorial. I'm going to open that up and locate the main class, which mine should be the, what is it? It is right here, the tutorialmod.java. This is my main class. Alright, so just to give you guys a warning, I am not a professional coder, just to let you guys know. I'm a video producer, I'm not a coder here. I do understand some of the coding, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, like, I'm not going to describe every single bit of code and, describe what it means. I'm just going to give you a rough, idea. Or, just explain it at my best, you know what I mean? I can't really explain everything super good. And also, the way we are copying and pasting our code into our main classes and all that stuff, it doesn't really follow a smooth rhythm, you know what I mean? If you guys ever look at Minecraft Mojang's code, then you'll notice that they use their code, how they write it is just like a poem. It's really smooth. Ours is kind of messed up because we have everything going on. Look at this. This is really sloppy work. That's what they would consider it. But since it works for us, we're going to go with it. Anyways, guys, how about we just continue, make our first enum tool material, and continue on with the tutorial, and make sure that you guys are able to actually make, swords and stuff. Anyways, what I'm going to do is go back to this right here, my creating mods form, and what we're going to do is copy this right here. This static, I think it's public static, I'm not sure if there's a public missing right here. I'm going to edit that and make sure it says public. Anyways, the first code, you're just going to copy this, and you're going to go here to your main class. And you have to paste it within the public class tutorial mod. So right here under tool materials, this is where you're going to paste it. So just paste that right in, and I'm surprised there isn't an error because normally it should be public or public class, I think. Yeah, it should have been public static, but you know what? I'm going to keep it static just for the heck of it because it's already there. Anyways, static, because there's no public. Static enum tool material, and this is the name of our enum tool material. We're going to name it enum tool material topaz. So you could change it to whatever you want. You could put enum tool material weak, enum tool material good, enum tool material Jacob. You know, you could just change it to your liking. So anyways, you're going to be making a ton of enum tool materials. I know you guys, because you're going to have different like types of pickaxe, different type of swords and all that stuff, and you could change how strong these pickaxe are. Another thing I'm going to say about this tutorial is it could be very long, and please don't post a comment saying, oh Steven, you took forever to make this tutorial, a 20-minute tutorial. Oh my gosh, I'm not forcing you guys to watch my tutorial. It's if you guys want to learn how to actually do it and understand. If you get an error, then you weren't like following along. I noticed there was one guy who posted a comment saying, Steven, it took you 15 minutes to describe something that should take 3 minutes. You know, I just like to go at my own pace. I'm not gonna rush it here, and then you guys are gonna be like, Steven, what did you just say? I didn't understand anything. So yeah. Anyways, public enum tool material. This is our enum tool material name. Here's enum helper, and this is what you have to import if you don't already have it imported. Yeah, we have it right here, enum helper. All right. Anyways, we're adding a new tool material, and I'm gonna call this one low power. You could put anything you want right here. So if you want to name it like high power, very strong, then you could change that. So you guys might not understand what these numbers will indicate. The 2, 500, 6, and 6 and 15. The only way you could figure out what this actually means is if you go to the actual Minecraft coding. So what you're going to do is you're going to locate the items right here. Net Minecraft items. The package called Net Minecraft items. You're going to open that up. And here you're going to locate, I believe it is called enum tool materials. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Enum tool material. You're going to locate that, all right? So here you can see Minecraft's enum tool materials. There's wood, stone, iron, emerald, as in diamonds, and gold. So here you can see the harvest level, which is the first one. Here you're going to see the max uses. So about 32 uses of a gold pickaxe will break, all right? So here's the diamond, which is the strongest. You can mess with that. So the first line is the harvest level, and you can see the harvest level right here and the description of what it says. Now here is the durability, which we already know, and here is this one is efficiency on proper material. So this one is like if it hits a block, you know, like how fast is it gonna mine through it, you know what I mean? Since diamond is really fast at mining, you'll see that it has 12, but it breaks really fast. For diamond, it's pretty decent, 8. All right, so if you want it to be a super fast pickaxe, whoa, you're gonna make a really strong pickaxe, and you can name it your name. Like my pickaxe, I'm gonna call it Steven's pickaxe. You know what I mean? Anyways, the next 0, it should be damage versus entity. So like if you want it to be as strong as a sword, that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, over here is like enchant ability and stuff. So I don't really mess around with enchantability. I just leave it at 10, just like a diamond. Anyways, let's just go back and change this around. So the first one is the harvest level. Let's keep that at 2. The durability, since it's weak, I'm going to change it to 10. But since it has only 10 durability points, I'm going to change this to 20. So it will break blocks really fast. It's a strong pickaxe, but it breaks quick. Alright, so you could change this to like 5 to keep it normal. And you could change durability to up to like 3,000 or even more. You can make it invincible, so it can never break. An unbreakable pickaxe. Pretty cool. This is the enchantment level, and this is the what is it called? When you hit a mob, how strong is it? So I'm going to leave it at 3. I don't want it to be like too big. I mean too strong. Anyways, that is our enum tool material. So you could always come back here to the enum tool material .java to see what else everything means and just to read everything if you really want to. But since we already have made our first one, how about we start making all of our tools? So in here where it says items, I'm going to press enter a couple times and put a comment saying tools, because I like to do that. I like to name everything even though it's all mess. Even though, yeah. Anyways, how about we come over here? And I think my voice cracked on there. But what we're going to do is come back to the creating mods, mod loader and forge. You can come back here and copy the public static items. The next line of code after we have copied the enum tool materials, come here and you're going to copy this. Alright, what you're going to do is go back to tools and just paste it right in. Alright, so now we have made topaz axe, topaz, all that stuff. So public static item, topaz axe. It's just like making an ordinary item. It's not a block, it's an item. So what we're going to do now is define it and declare what it actually means. So what I'm going to do is press a couple enters and put double slashes and just put, tools. So now what I'm going to do is go here, and now I'm going to copy and paste all of this. The next step is to copy all of this code right here. And we're going to paste it right inside here, public void load. So I'm going to go back here and right click and paste. There we go. So we're going to get some errors, obviously, but we're going to fix those errors. So since we called it topaz axe, it has been defined here. So if I would have named it Ruby Axe, this has to be renamed Ruby Axe. So Topaz Axe equals a new SCMowns axe. This is the item ID, and since we're trying to keep everything at a solid 2500 item ID, we have to change this. So our last item, or our last block, was a Topaz block, which has an item ID value of 2500. So we're going to change that. Our latest one was probably this Topaz ore, which is 2502. So we're going to change that. 2503. This right here is going to be 2504. And so on and so forth. I'm not going to really worry about the item ID, but it's just best to keep everything, you know, at an even flow. You don't want to be mismatching everything and forgetting what IDs you used last. So there we go. I've changed everything. So it's all in the 2500s. You don't have to do that if you don't really want to. So here's our enum 2 material, which is called Topaz, and it's been registered up here. So if you named it Ruby, so enum 2 material Ruby, then make sure you change this to Ruby. Alright, so now this is the set unlocalized name, which is the texture path, or the file of where it's at. So what is the name of our textures? So I'm going to minus this and see here's the names of all the textures. We have to manually add in every single one of these. So you have to replace the texture file name with the actual name of the file. So the first one is axe, shovel, pickaxe. So with your name right here, Jasper Axe, you have to make sure it's all lowercase. And then you name this Jasper Axe. There we go. And then the next one is probably going to be the shovel. I think it's the shovel. Yep, it is. So the next one is Jasper Shovel. Just make sure that you just rename everything, and if you have any caps, just include the caps, because if you don't include it, then you're probably not gonna load up the image. Anyways, I'm gonna fast forward this. Alright, so there we go. What I just did was just rename this to the actual name of the image, and now we are good to go. Now the only error we have to fix is right here, our SCMowns axe. Now there's different ways of approaching this. First off, how could I describe this to you guys? So if you're gonna make more axe, like if you're gonna make really anything, you could keep everything at one class. You could always separate each classes. So let's say this is SCMowns axe and you make another tool, you could call it SCMowns axe 2. It doesn't matter. So you could keep both of them at SCMowns axe as long as you don't have anything special. So let's say I wanted to make a SCMowns blade. I'm gonna put SCMowns sword special instead of using this class SCMowns sword, because it's being used by the Topaz sword. So the reason why you separate the classes is because if you have rare tools, you could give them enchanted effects, and if you don't want like the Topaz sword to have an enchanted effect, then you have to make sure you have a different type of class. So we're gonna go over that later on, so you best understand this. I'm just trying to describe it at my best, but it's not really seem to working. It doesn't really seem to be working. Anyways, what we're gonna do now is create these classes. The SCMowns axe. You just hover over the air and you just create it. You could call it whatever you want. So I could actually call it SCMowns basic axe. You see, since it's a basic axe, so it's not a special axe. It's just a basic one. So I could just copy and have that in there. Anyways, I'm gonna hover over this and just create an SCMowns basic axe and just click finish. Alright, so once you have done this, what you're going to do is go back to your, go back to my forum, scroll all the way down, and copy this itty bitty line of code here. So this is the last line of code, and what you have to do is, you could read all this to understand everything if you're kind of confused off this tutorial. But what you're going to do is copy that line of code and just paste it right in there. So first off, since we are now, we are making a class, SCMowns basic axe, we have to make sure we rename everything. Here's the package name. We have to hover over that and make sure it's the right package name, which is scmowns.tutorial. And right here is the wrong name, SCMowns pickaxe. That's not the actual name. Hover over that and click rename, and there you go. So since this is considered an SCMowns basic axe, it's not a pickaxe. You see, public class SCMowns basic axe, not a pickaxe, extends item pickaxe. So what you can do is hover over and highlight right here, pickaxe, just highlight it and backspace and just add an axe. You see this? You might get an error, but what you're gonna do is hover over that error, item axe, and import it. There you go. So right after you hover over item axe, import it, and you're good to go. So you have to do this for everything, item hoe, item sword, item everything. So now that we have made the class for the basic axe, now let's go back to our main class, which is right here, and this line of code should be fixed. So let's do this for the shovel. I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. We're going to hover over this, create a new class for the shovel, click finish, highlight this, paste in the code that we got from my forum, fix the package first. All right, so change the declaration to your package. Now scroll down, fix this, rename to SCMowns basic shovel. And once you are ready, don't forget to change the extension. So change this item pickaxe to item shovel. I think it's shovel, or it could be spade. Yes, it is spade. So item spade. Let's try spade. There we go. So now that worked. I have to change. No, it's good. All right. So import item spade. And once you have done that, you have made your shovel. Now let's do this again for our other stuff. It's gonna be really fast. You guys should already get the hang of it. So I'm gonna import the pickaxe, paste like that, change your package right there, and change the name, because this isn't the name. SCMowns pickaxe, that's not the name of the class. It's SCMowns basic pickaxe. So I'm gonna hover over this and click rename. And since it already extends item pickaxe, then we don't have to change anything. And the last one we have to worry about is probably the hoe and the sword. So I'm going to keep on doing this. I'm going to fast forward the video till I make the classes for these two. It's going to be the same thing as the pickaxe, shovel, and axe. Alrighty, so there we go. I have made all of the classes. This was the last one, which was the item sword. And that's it. That is basically it, guys. Public class SCMowns basic sword extends item sword. We are done. I have believed we've done everything. We have already made our enum tool material, so all of this other stuff won't really matter. If you want to make your item have like a rare effect, we're going to go over that very soon. That's going to be the next episode, or probably the next couple episodes. And after that, guys, go back to your tutorial mod and make sure that everything seems to be correct. Make sure that there's no errors. If there is an error, then be sure to post a comment, or be sure to go to my help forums and post a topic there, because I'm always there, and we bound to help each other out. Anyways, guys, once you have done all that, what you're going to do now is you have to make sure that you select these item pictures, and you have to make sure it's in your moddings folder. So I'm going to go here to my moddings folder, which is Forge Tutorial 1.5.2. Now I'm going to go here to Jars, and go here to Bin, and here's our items folder. So what we're going to do in our items folder is we're going to make a duplicate copy of these pictures right here. So I'm going to highlight everything, copy these pictures. So I'm going to go here to item and just paste it right in there. There we have it. So since it's considered an item in Minecraft, it's not considered a block, we have it set right here. So I'm just going to make a duplicate copy just to keep it for reference and stuff. Anyways, I'm going to go back one, and now we have to install it in our minecraft.jar for our Forge Tutorial 1.5.2. So I'm going to right click, open with WinRAR, and make sure that the texture is inside our minecraft.jar, so then it can load up the tools and stuff. So I'm going to go here to the folder called textures, go here to items, and simply drag over the actual textures into that database of all these items. So I'm going to hover it over and press add and replace, press OK, and there we go. Just add in all of your pictures into the textures folder items in the Minecraft.jar, and you should be able to have the items appear. Anyways, I'm going to press play, and now everything should be able to work. That is basically it. I apologize if, if the tutorial is really confusing, but we've already done this in the mod loader series. So if you guys haven't already seen mod loader, how I did it for mod loader, it's quite the same, but it's just a little bit different in wording. So just be sure to check out the mod loader series. If you guys are stuck and don't know how to do the tools and don't understand any of this stuff, then be sure to check out the last mod loader spade tutorial. There was a sword tutorial. There was an axe tutorial. There was like so many other tutorials for mod loader. There's more tutorials in mod loader than actual Forge. So yeah, and I described it really good back in mod loader, because mod loader was really easy. Anyways, guys, now we have launched Minecraft. Go here to single player, go into any world we like, and soon you guys can make crafting recipes for your tools. All right, so just make sure you make crafting recipes if you really want to. You guys already know how to make crafting recipes. So anyways, guys, what I'm gonna do is change my game mode right away. Game mode 1. Oop, that was 21. All right, 12 I mean. So I'm gonna open up my inventory, go here to tools, and what do you know? Here we go. Nice. So one thing you might notice is that it's missing its name. Oh man, that's not good. So when you're holding this, you're like, whoa, I'm holding, what is it called? Nothing, because it's all messed up. So the reason why that doesn't show up is because it's missing. Whoa, look how fast this is. And it should break after 10 uses. Pretty cool. Anyways, guys, what we're gonna do now is just name our tools, and what you do is just go here, language registry, add name, and there we go. We just use this line of code, paste, 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 and start naming everything. A topaz axe, copy that, go here, topaz, rename. We're gonna call this topaz axe. You get it? So it's really simple. Just copy and paste this, the language registry that you already made for the topaz gem, and start renaming everything. And now when you log into Minecraft, it should be able to have the name. So topaz gem, topaz spade. There we go. So if I press play, I should be able to have my axe, and it should say topaz axe. Anyways, guys, I might just leave it at a wrap like that because we already have everything set. So if I look at the topaz axe, there you go, topaz axe. And here's the spade, but over here, nothing, because I still have to rename those, and I have to rename these. But I'm gonna do that offline after this tutorial is done, because that's just really simple work. You guys should already know how to do that, and you guys should be able to know how to make recipes. It's really simple, and just make the recipes for your tools. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the series. Thank you. I'll see you guys later.